Daniela Elser Prince Harry and Meghan Markle may threaten palace with secret tapes. When it comes to the House of Windsor, they have a long and particularly poor history in terms of monogamy, clear driving reports, and all things videotape-related. But if there is one thing we've learned over the course of the last odd 50 years, it is that time and time again, the combination of an HRH or 7, the moving image only leads to the PR headache after PR nightmare. There was the truly infamous 1969 royal feature-length docu imaginatively titled Royal Family that offered such a plebeian image of the reigning family that it threatened to smite every last drop of vestigial majesty. Watching Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and of her other realms and territories, Queen, head of the Commonwealth, defender of the faith, making a solid dressing and using Tupperware, did nothing for the monarchical cause, despite the endeavour being 18 months in the making. Upon its debut, Queen nearly immediately realised her grave mistake in giving the project the green light, and to this day the actual film has been locked away in an archive in Windsor Castle. In the 1980s, Her Majesty's youngest son, the often-looked Prince Edward, had visions of becoming a filmmaker, and with stars in his eyes persuaded his mama and various family members, including Prince Andrew, Sarah, Duchess of York, and Princess Annie, to take part in its a royal knockout. It was a demanding endeavour which threatened to squander every ounce of remaining dignity the British monarchy was clinging to. Watching the Queen's children dressed as vegetables and chucking fake hams at one another was a spectacular exercise in small screen debasement that today's reality TV impresarios could only dream of. Come the 1990s, and first Prince Charles and then Diana, Princess of Wales, turned to sympathetic journalists for cathartic, soul-bearing TV confessionals in all their consuming battle for public sympathy, dragging the agony and misery of their marriage into the public domain to the detriment of the royal brand. Now, if the reports from the UK are to be believed, Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, are the latest members of the royal family to join this ignoble throng of HRHs turned TV stars. According to first the Mail on Sunday and then the Sun, the couple is alleged working on a fly-on-the-wall series about themselves as part of their $130 million Netflix deal. Here is the particularly juicy kicker. They allegedly have footage filmed prior to the exit from the royal fold. The TV series was coming from inside the palace. The Mail's royal editor Emily Andrews reports that Harry and Meghan are working on a project that goes beyond the inspirational family programming they initially promised. Instead, it will center on the couple's first year after splitting from the royal family, their new life in California, and the reasons why they fled Britain. According to a well-placed source, the couple have video footage from when they left their Windsor home, Frogmore Cottage, for the final time, and their farewell tour at Buckingham Palace. Their representatives are thought to have pitched the footage, including personal videos recorded as a step back from the royal life during negotiations with Netflix. Following that, a source told The Sun, Harry and Meghan's publicity team have gone into overdrive to quash any notion of them filming a tacky reality series. Incessantly, they are splitting hairs. There will be a fly-on-the-wall series, but obviously it won't be what's and all or about their personal life. They're very keen to highlight their worthy charity work, and cameras will film them going from one good cause to another. For example, when they drop food off at food banks, a camera will be there to capture it. Assuming these reports are true, the very thought that Harry and Meghan might have been recording the goings-on and inner workings of the palace prior to the bombshell exit would surely have been striped cadre of courtiers sweating unseemingly through their Savile Row suits right now. So what we are to make of all this now? The big caveat is here that in October, a spokesperson for the couple said that the Duke and Duchess are not taking part in any reality shows. That said, that there is a world of difference between some sort keeping up with the Sussexes' film flamery and self-important personal documentary dearly focused on do-goodery. If the Sussexes are indeed industriously beavering away right now on some sort of series about their own lives, this sort of pulling back the curtain on royal life for commercial purposes seems like something of a desperate ploy to bolster their image as philanthropists. When Edward convinced his brother, sister and sister-in-law to dress up in mock Tudor costumes and take part in a series of inane games in front of an audience of millions of gobsmacked Britons. At least it was solely in the name of raising funds for charity, but selling Sussexes, as one Britain newspaper vaguely termed as a possible ducal TV series, just seems like a crass exercise in both self-aggrandizement and ensuring one's court's bank account stays firmly in the black. The sticking point here is that it is one thing to want to use their platform to maximize their reach and to support the causes and charities work closely with. It's another thing entirely to relentlessly put themselves at the center of narrative and to keep the spotlight perpetually on them rather than the actual charities themselves. If what has been reported is in fact true, there is something inherently uncomfortable about using philanthropy or even simple acts of generosity such as visiting a food bank as what could look suspiciously like a brand and bank account building exercise. Here is another question. Assuming this series does eventuate, once we have all gotten over the sheer delicious novelty of watching a Duke and Duchess donning a ladle at a soup kitchen or hugging the homeless, whether the poor downtrodden souls asked it for naught, this entire endeavor just sounds horrendously dull. Hour upon tedious hour of watching the Duke and Duchess compose Maya Angelou-inspired Instagram post or piously sitting around a table discussing brand synergies and self-actualizing, and their authentic journey doesn't sound like compelling or even vaguely interesting viewing. And beyond all of this, just what would the boss Akka, the queen, make of this particular Tilstown venture? When Harry and Meghan quit early this year, Buckingham Palace said in a statement, the Sussexes have made clear that everything they will do will continue to uphold the values of Her Majesty. Given that 94-year-old's life has been defined by duty and responsibility, not ratings and streaming stats, it seems likely not that the Sussexes' alleged decision to allow a camera crew to trail in their perfumed wake to capture their philanthropic 9-to-5 quite constitutes upholding the values of Her Majesty. In the months before Diana, Princess of Wales's death in 1997, having seen the success of her anti-landmine campaign, the 36-year-old was working on a novel and powerful plan for a professional future. An esteemed biographer, Tina Brown, writes in the Diana Chronicles, the princess's idea was to produce documentaries like the well-received film she had made with the BBC of her trip to Angola, a film every 2 years, each one the centerpiece of a discreet humanitarian campaign. She would raise awareness of the issue, then produce a documentary in partnership with one of the television channels, and ultimately leave a structure in place to maintain her involvement with the cause. Say what you will about Diana, but the woman was a media savant, indistinctly understanding how to use her platform to help the less fortunate. However, there is a vast gulf between using TV to help spotlight a cause and using TV to highlight their worthy charity work. Keeping in mind too the recent brouhaha over Harry and Meghan's decision to visit Los Angeles National Cemetery to mark Remembrance Sunday this month with a professional photographer in tow, a controversy that augurs badly if they're indeed working on a fly-on-the-wall series. If the success of The Crown is anything to go by, we have the unwashed masses just can't get enough of gorging on all things royal. Whether that will hold true if we are ever presented with some sort of Harry and Meghan seeming the world type offering is the $130 million question here. Either way, I doubt the Queen will be watching. Meghan Markle wrote letter accusing father of lies with palace help, court filing. Meghan Markle wrote a private letter accusing her father of betrayal with the help of palace press officers. According to newspaper, she is suing. The Duchess of Sussex sent Thomas Markle a handwritten note accusing him of lying to the press about her in August after her 2018 royal wedding. However, he passed the note to the UK tabloid The Mail on Sunday, which published substantial extracts. Meghan is suing the paper for breach of privacy and copyright, but its lawyers claim in court papers that she intended her father to leak the message. They argue she wanted her side of the story to come out without it looking like she had spoken publicly about a private matter. Now, in recent submitted court papers, the Mail on Sunday's legal team claim former press secretary Jason Knopf and others in Kensington Palace communications team contributed to the writing of the letter. The filing quoted in the Daily Mail owned by the same publisher. The Mail on Sunday refers to the former spokesman for Harry, Meghan, Prince William and Kate Middleton. The Duchess has previously claimed the newspaper has an agenda against her and is suing the case to generate clickbait.